So in my final island update for 2024, we're going to take a look at what you can expect from New Year's Eve rolling into the first days of January over here in Mallorca. We're also going to talk about what you can expect if you're hoping to come over to Mallorca during the month of January. Of course, I'm going to have a weather forecast too for the week ahead, but we're starting this video over here on a very sunny but also quite a chilly Santa Ponsa beach. Now, how different it is over here during the winter than you'll find during the summer months. But don't forget, I'm going to be back here regularly throughout the year too, and of course I've got some great content coming up for you in the future as well, in the winter too, so make sure you consider subscribing to the channel to catch those videos. But we're going to start this video by talking about New Year's Eve over here in Mallorca. Now, if you're looking for somewhere to celebrate, if you don't already have plans, then if you're staying in Palma, then my recommendation is to go to Plaza de Court, right outside the town hall. That's where there's normally a big party where many residents and many visitors go and see in the new year too. There should be some live music as well and a big countdown to midnight. Don't forget to take your 12 grapes with you as well. You eat one grape with every bong of the clock, and that's for good luck as well to see in the new year, and maybe sneak in a little bottle of cava with you as well. Now, you're going to find in many cities around the world that there's always a big fireworks display like you'll see in Sydney or in London, but we don't have that over here in Mallorca. But you will see around the island various fireworks displays taking place, and these are going to be private ones. They're normally going to be taking place in some of the hotels that are going to be open at this time of year, who have organised a big gala dinner. Check those out, do your research before coming over, because you may well want to book a dinner in one of these hotels to enjoy New Year's Eve evening. And also do your research, because there will be a few restaurants hosting New Year's Eve gala dinners as well, so make sure you get your table booked. It's going to be very unlikely that if you're wandering around town on New Year's Eve that you're going to be able to wander into a restaurant and pick up a meal, but you know, I could be mistaken. But it's better to get something booked before coming over here to make sure that you've got somewhere to celebrate New Year's Eve. Don't forget too that New Year's Day is going to be a public holiday over here in Mallorca as well, so you're going to find very few things open. There will be a few bits and pieces open as well, but just bear in mind as well, if you're looking for somewhere to eat on New Year's Day, it may well be worth booking your table. Also, as I mentioned in my Christmas video as well, you're going to find that many of the restaurants that were open during December on the run up to Christmas will close for January, as will much of the rest of the island, because a lot of people are going to be taking holidays during the month of January. You're going to find many locals heading off to Asia and heading off to warmer climes. Kind of wish I was as well, actually, because it is getting a little bit cold over here. But you're going to find that many of the restaurants that were open during December may well be closed, and this is going to be by far the quietest month in all the resorts. While hotels undergo refurbishments, restaurants undergo refurbishments too, so also bear that in mind as well. It's going to be very quiet on the island during the month of January. Okay, so just as you think Christmas is over following New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, well, things will just have got started over here in Spain, because of course Spain celebrates Three Kings Day on the 6th of January. It's like a second Christmas Day. On the eve of the Three Kings on the 5th of January, big events will be taking place in pretty much every single town and village and port around the island, when the Three Kings will arrive, albeit on boat or sleigh or whatever, or tractor, bringing presents for all the eagerly waiting children around the island. So this is going to be a big night. If you're over here in Mallorca, if you're over here on holiday, head into Palma, take public transport, go into Palma. Please don't take your car. You might not get a parking space, but go and check that out. And it's a wonderful kind of carnival atmosphere. So the Three Kings parade through Palma, and there are lots of floats, there's lots of dancing, there's lots of music as well. So it's a really nice thing to see, particularly if you've never seen it before. Also as well, just to let you know, the January sales will start right after Three Kings Day on the 6th of January. They're going to start on the 7th of January, and you're going to find big sales taking place in the shops. You normally don't find too much in the way of sales before that, so that's when the official sales season starts. But are we going to stop celebrating during the month of January? Well, no, we're not. And we're going to keep walking down the beach here in Santa Ponsa, and I'm going to tell you more about what you can expect if you're coming over to Mallorca during the month. Okay, so while the island is going to be very quiet during the month of January, one thing that we'll have to look forward to is this whole festival of light and fire which takes place in the cold evenings throughout the island actually, and I'm talking about the San Antoni fiestas. Now you're going to find in some of the smaller villages and towns that you're going to see neighbourhoods holding barbecues in celebration of San Antoni or St Anthony. In Palma as well, on the 19th of January, we're going to see a huge night, and that's going to be the San Sebastian celebrations, which are actually going to take place on the days before and after the 19th of January as well. It's a great local fiesta, and in fact, if you go back and check out my last video about Mallorca in January, I've got more information about those two events. But go out and enjoy it. If you're over here on the island, it's not just about visiting the beaches or visiting the old towns. Go and see what these local celebrations are all about, because, well, it's such a local cultural thing to take part in as well, and it's really going to add to your stay over here. And one of the most fun local events, which basically you'll never see taking place in your home country, particularly if you're from the UK, is the Puig de Pi, which is the climbing of the pine tree up in Pollensa Old Town, and that takes place on, I think it's around the 16th and the 17th as well. I'll put more information about that on the Mallorca Under the Sun Facebook page, but you're going to see many locals that are trying to shimmy up a greased pine tree to get the prize, to get the money at the top of that tree as well. It's always broadcast on local TV. People have fallen off that tree in the past. It's a big health and safety hazard, but it's one of the big local traditions that always takes place over here. So go ahead and check that out if you're in the area. So we've just come a little bit further down the beach here, and I thought I'd bring you down towards the water, but I just want to give you a very quick transport update as well from over here in Santa Ponsa where I am, because don't forget, I did mention it in my last video, and the great news is that you can now get the A11 bus from Palma Airport all the way down to Portals Naus, all the way down to Palma Nova, Magaluf, and here in Santa Ponsa, and as far as Peguera as well. So that direct airport bus is now up and running, which is fantastic news if you're coming over here for a short break or a long break. Don't forget as well, in the centre of Santa Ponsa, you're going to see as well a few roadworks coming up through the high street. Don't worry too much about those. The buses are still running down here as well. So just take a note as well. Check back on my update video as to where that bus is going to be leaving from as well, if you're heading back towards Palma or to the airport. Okay everyone, moving on to the weather forecast for the week ahead. Well, I'm filming this a little bit in advance of New Year's Day, but I can see on the long range weather forecast that, well, the weather is looking good, and it hasn't turned just yet. Just bear in mind that often during January we do get some very lovely weather, and then it does turn and we do get the storms and the rain. And of course we've had weeks of lovely sunshine here, so I'm guessing we're going to be due some rain very soon. But on these early days of January, I can see that we've got plenty of sunshine forecast and some clouds. Of course there's going to be the possibility of some showers and some wind as well, but it is feeling cool over here. Highs are of around 15 to 16 degrees, lows are going to be around 8 degrees, so it is cold out of the sunshine. It is feeling cold. In the sunshine it's feeling absolutely lovely, but by the time that sun drops at night, the evenings are going to be very cold. So if you're coming over, bring lots of layers. Even bring a hat, bring a scarf, and bring some gloves too. Just wrap up warmly. Okay everyone, thank you very much for watching. I hope this video proved useful. I'll be back with the monthly updates as well next month. So don't forget to consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already, for more holiday news, travel news as well, and tips as well coming out of Mallorca for the new year. Don't forget you can also find me on the Facebook group and on my Instagram, and I'm also going to drop another video appearing just here on YouTube too to help you out with your holiday. Thanks very much for watching everyone. Wishing you a very happy new year, and I shall see you on the next one. Goodbye for now.